Okay, so we know that the first line support group can create GPOs in the domain and then link them to different OUs, including the workstation OU. JKing is a member of that group, so I've just done a make token here. I will also need to CD somewhere so I can spawn PowerShell. And we're going to use the RSAT commandlets that are installed on this machine to create a new GPO. I'll just call it demo GPO. And then straight away link it with new GP link to the OU. And the OU is workstations, DC dev, DC cyberbotic, DC IO. Okay, so this output is good. That means it's worked. If you jump onto the console of the domain controller for dev and open the group policy management console, you'll see this GPO in there. So this is by no means invisible, so give it a good name. Next thing I'm going to do is create a registry preference within that GPO. We'll do that with set gp pref registry value. And this commandlet allows you to add basically just an arbitrary registry value into the GPO, which will be applied to the target computers. There's a lot of things you can do with that, but for this example I'm just going to have it create an auto run key to spawn a payload. So the name of the GPO is demo GPO. The context is computer, so we're going to create this in HKLM. Action is create because we're creating a new value. And the key is in HKLM. Software, Microsoft, Windows, current version, run. The value name is the name of the registry value that we're going to create. You can give it something like software updater. And then the value, so I'm going to put comspec B C start B min, and then we're going to point it at a payload that's going to exist on a UNC path. So there's a software share on the domain controller that we can use. Software, and I'll just call it updater.exe. And then finally the type is the type of the registry value that we're creating, and that can just be expand string. Okay, so this output is good. Every time you update a GPO, the versions get updated. So we created it and then we made one change to it. So that's why you see 1 here. And the next step is to generate the payload. So I'm going to use a pivot listener. I'll just call it pivot. And then generate a payload for that. Let's call it updater.exe. Okay, and then I'm going to cd to that UNC path, which you can do. So you can set the working directory of the beacon to a UNC path, and then when we do the upload command, it will upload to the remote share. So now let's just hop across to the target workstation. So this is workstation 2. And so we're logged in as nlam, who is a domain admin. And let's do gp update, target, computer, and force. So in the real world, computers update their GPOs on a regular basis, but we're just going to force it here so we don't have to wait around. Okay, so now the registry entry has been applied to this machine. You can open regedit and go and check that, but to trigger it, the user needs to log on basically. So to do that, we're just going to sign out. And then reconnect to sign back in. And then when we go back to Cobalt Strike, we have a beacon running as nlam on workstation 2. You can see it's running in the updater process.